Just looking at a poll here coming in from the road safety charity Break, and it says as many as 69% of drivers admit putting others at risk by breaking traffic laws. Almost everyone questioned in a survey admitted to putting others at risk by breaking those laws. A third of drivers questioned said they don't pay attention at the wheel, and yet 99% of people who drive think that they are comparatively safe. What is comparatively safe? Here is former racing driver Amanda Stretton. So, does that make people complacent, cocky, overconfident? How would you describe it? Or just dangerous?
Well, I think, first of all, I would question the survey, simply because I think everybody at some stage has broken the law, inadvertently or not. And to say, you know, obviously screaming at your children whilst on your phone and going through a red light is very, very different to maybe just going through an orange light, let's say. So both technically fall within the remit of breaking the law. However, that being said, I do think that drivers are very aggressive these days, but I think that all comes down to there being far less space on the road and traffic congestion being a real issue.
Yes, and you know what, we were talking earlier about a car that parks itself. Probably the only way you eradicate anything like this is to have automated cars on automatic pilot.
Well, there's actually a city in China which has been completely networked, and they have these automatic cars. You can actually put your children, your dog in a car, set the program, and it will take the children or the dog or you, wherever it is you want to go. Personally, I think that's a terrific idea. I quite like the idea of that.
What's behind the risk-taking, do you think? Why are people in their cars thinking, you know, because obviously they know that they can do a lot of damage if something goes wrong, but what is it that makes people think, oh, I'm just going to nip in here, or I'm just going to nip through that light?
As I say, I think it comes down to, again, this fact that we are so squeezed in to a road network that simply is not really fit for purpose.
But there's also types that do it. There are people who would never do it, and there are people who just live to do it.
I'm glad you said that, not me. But yes, there are clearly types. I mean, we all get stereotyped, whether we like it or not, by the car that we drive, by what we look like, by our gender. And I think, rightly or wrongly, there is definitely a type who will be very aggressive. We all know who these people tend to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone does tend to conform.
Yeah. The sobering point of this survey, of course, is that every day 5 people are killed and 63 injured on roads in the UK. So 5 people today will set out and they will not come back from their car journey.
But I think what we mustn't lose sight of as well is the fact that not all of those people are going to be killed by people who are driving illegally. You know, the roads inherently are dangerous places. Cars are inherently dangerous objects. And not everybody who gets killed on the road is going to be killed by somebody who is necessarily breaking the law. It could be a pedestrian who accidentally walks out and hasn't properly looked where they're going. So again, I think all of these statistics, whereas unquestionably there are some terribly aggressive drivers and people who do break the law, flout the rules and whatever else, it all needs to be taken into context slightly, because we don't actually know, you know, as I say, there's breaking the law and there's breaking the law.
OK, keep an eye on the road and be careful. Amanda Stretton, thank you very much indeed. Sports coming right after the break. Jack Wilshere across